So my screen is visible, right? Yeah. Today,
Yes, it's visible.
yeah. Today we go. Yeah. Who spoke just before? I didn't notice. So hope we have seen immutable data. There is integer, float, and string. Now we are going to learn about what is mutable data types and its examples. Okay. So you all know that what is mutable. What is the difference between mutable and immutable? So just quick revise. What is data types and what are the types of data types? Yeah.
There are two mutables and immutables. Immutable is something uh, which will not allow
Allow
you
you
to
to
modify.
yeah. Cool. So mutable means
Mutable means once it is defined, you can modify it.
got it. Yeah. So, okay. So now we are going to see the types of mutable data. So in this section, previously we have seen a string in float, and we are about to see tuple and frozen set. We will see once we gone through these things like a list dictionary set, because this is an extension for these things. Both tuple and frozen sets are. So these three are a basic data types, and now we are going to see mutable, and then later on we'll move on to tuples and frozen set. Okay. Now we'll start with the list. What is list? Okay. So uh, list is one another data types of data types in Python. Okay. So in other languages, it will be called it as an array. Okay, array object in JavaScript, Java, C, and all. Uh, this it will be called as array. In Python, we call it as a list. Okay, and it is denoted by square brackets. Okay, so the characteristics and its definition is list is a collection of objects. Okay, in string I said string is a collection of characters. Means string contains a set of characters. Was uh, each was specified. What is that? Specified or located in specific position called index. Similarly, list is nothing but a collection of objects. Each objects are located at a designated place that is called again an index. Okay, as like a string, list also index based data type. Got it? As like a string, list also index based data types. But here the difference is in string we can able to hold each and every characters in a specific position, but in list doesn't like that. Here we can hold entire object in a specific position. Say for example, I will show you the difference. uh, this is my string. I'm going to say Vijay is a name. Okay, now here you know that B is a single character was reside in position what?
Zero.
0, exactly. So till the length minus 1. Similarly in list, okay, now I'm going to say Vijay. Now list, I kept entire string into my list. Now what happened? This entire name was resides in 0th position. If I fetch string 0th index in string, I'm going to print s of 0. Similarly, I'm going to print li. So in string, in 0th position, we got a single character. But in list, it is not like that. We got an entire string because list holds complete object in an index. For each index in list, we can able to store a complete object. That's why we're using a list. Say for example, you have a if you have a single name, you can use a string object. But if you have a group of say names or a set of names, what you have to do? You need to use a list. Here we can store a number of records. Like so here I want to take a. So if we want to store all these names, I can use it in a list. Okay? But if I keep it like that, what will happen? This will raise error, right? What will be the error? If I keep it like that, many cases.
Syntax error.
Exactly, because syntax error. How type error? Because it has a space. I said right, in a variable declaration we have seen, if we keep space in between two variables, because this is not a string, this is a variable. Python will try to understand this is a variable. Okay, so here you kept space in between, so Python will never know what it is. It will raise a syntax error, invalid syntax. Have you noticed the color difference? So in some IDs will notify with color difference. Okay, so here it says see black for a variable and red color for a string. So even you can easily notify it while you're coding itself. Okay, so this is a feature of IDE, so not belongs to Python. Okay, now you know, so this will raise a syntax error obviously. So you have to correct your mistakes. Now it's done. Okay, so here I kept a complete name inside my list, but in string you can able to hold a single name, or if you want to keep all the name together, still you can able to do, but in a single line, not completely. So say for example, if you want to hold all the names, just say names, you have to use inside a quotes, you can paste, it will work. But here you won't be able to access each and every names, right? So if you want to say names of 0, you will get only A, not a complete name. So here you will get it, but a single name, single character, because string, in a string we can able to store each and every character in an index. But if you want to keep a complete object, we are supposed to use a list. Got it? That's why we're using list. So list is a collection of objects. So any doubts in list? So both are index based. So have you do you have any doubts in definition, list definition? Am I clear? Any doubts? Then I will move on to why list is mutable. Okay. Now, so if you have any doubt, just please unmute and ask your questions. Okay. Otherwise, I will proceed because I'm not getting any answers, so I will proceed with that. Now, we say names. So, we will create a new list. So here, if I print, what will I get? What will I get?
Whole of the names, all of
Correct.
them, as
Because
one string.
super. So because it means you're actually going to keep a complete string definition inside a list. Okay. And how about my length of this list? How
You'll get
will
the complete end to end. It is not going to be only the first
it will be one?
two.
No, it will be one, because I said it is an object, right? Here you kept a single object. Got it? So data, a list contains only one object. One object, but that single object contains a number of characters. Okay. Here we are actually calculating length for a list, not for a string, not for inside objects. Okay. See, you will get, it says that the length is one because you actually has only one object, but that object was a set of characters. Now if you want to count inside object, you have to say data of 0. now now it will give you the complete length for your name string. Understand, Shiva?
Yes, okay. Now I understood. Yes.
Now it is 108. Got it? The space in between also counted. Okay, so here if you don't say index, you are actually calculating a length for a complete list. Okay, your list contains one object, that is names is a variable. The variable refers a string. This will be pointed into it. If I say data of 0, a string will be counted. Got it? Now if you don't have something like that, what will happen?
Mohintin, how you get the the backward slash? Why you
This
got
one,
that backward
this one,
slash in the output? Yeah,
this one, right? So
right.
this is actually this means a space. This one, the tab space. Okay, so this is
Okay,
not
okay.
what we have not written. So this is a special characters we will see in next chapter. Okay, what it is and all. Okay, this means a tab space. You know that, right? Slash in mean next line, slash t tab space kind of. Okay, this
Okay.
won't be counted. So when we press a tab key, this will be stored inside a string. Got it? If we print, you will get each and every character allowed, not a slash t. So this is an indication, says there is a tab space between two
Got
kind of words, two words. That's it. Got it?
okay. Yeah.
So you hope you get it. So if I say, if I execute this, what will happen? If I execute, what will happen?
It won't execute because you declared as names, but you give data equal to name.
Then what will happen? Name error. This will be a name error. Got it? So now we are going to see a new error. Okay. What is that? What will be that? Okay. Till now we have seen a syntax error followed by name error, attribute error, and type error. Now here, if you want to access an object or a characters inside that specific data type, means we have to say the corresponding index, right? If I say 0, you will get the complete string. Got it? It says it takes this. Okay. If I say 1, what will happen? So
Index error.
Value error.
Position error.
Value
yeah.
error.
Yeah. So Shivaram in a line. So he said it is a position error. Okay. The position is right. So what is the position? Here we have two types of position, index and key. Till now we have seen an index types. Okay. Which kind of position we have seen till now? So what it is?
Index.
So you all
Index
know.
error.
So it is index error because
Index error.
yeah, here we are supposed to use some kind of position. Okay, there is a two types of position. One is a key, one is index and key. We have not seen key yet. Till now we have seen index type of position. Okay, so here what we pause is called index. Okay, if we pause something which is not exist, what will happen? So this will raise an error. Okay, so now you know, this is index. So in that the corresponding index was not there. So it will raise index error. List index out of range. Got it, Shivaram?
Yes, thank
Yeah.
you.
So,
Bro, could you please repeat that again? I can't get it.
so you are actually trying to access something which is not exist. Okay. As Shivaram said, this will raise position error. Position error is correct, but that exactly it will be exactly here it is called as index error. In dictionary, it will be called as a key error, because here this will be differentiated by that position what we are going to use. Okay. So this is possible, the syntax is possible because list supports positioning. Okay, but here the position which we use was different, that is index. Okay, so you know, the data contains only one object. Data is a list, contains a single object, that is a names. If you say 0, you will get it because it has only one. If we say 0 plus 1, you won't get it. Again 2, you are not getting 1 at all. So then how will you get 2? Understand? Because this list contains only one object. If we say 0 1, now what will be the output? Will it be index error?
0 will be printed.
1 how 0?
Okay, okay.
0 1 2, right? I'm saying 2. Got it?
Yes.
Okay, 0 1 and 2. Now here I got a type error. Reason is actually data of 2 will be 1, but so it is fine. So there is a no issue with this line. Okay, now what happens, you are actually trying to find the length of it, right? You can able to find length for a data type which has positioning. String is a position based, integer list is a position based. There you can use a length, but in, you know, integer and floats are a fixed position. It doesn't have any position. Like a 10 means it's 10, 10 means 10, it doesn't mean 10. 100 means 100, it doesn't mean 100, because integer and float doesn't have any position. So length property was not supported for integer, and length property was not there for integer and float. That's why we're getting an error called type error, because that data type doesn't support this property. Integer does not support length property. That's why we're getting type error. Object integer has no length. Got it? If I say this,
Yes, bro.
what will happen? Now, will it be error or something? You will get something. What will be the output? Just assume this line. Just compare with this line.
I think we will get the output because 1 is considered as a string.
You will get. What will be the output?
1.
1. Because here 1 means you mean this one or what? So here I'm changing. Now what will be the answer?
1.
Still 1. How?
1 1.
11.
11. How? Here data of 2 means 1 1. Got it? But I'm saying len. So for first thing, data of 2, you will get 1 1. But I'm passing that answer into len. You're actually you're trying to find a length of it, right?
Yes, 2.
It will be 2. If I remove this line, now
We will get as 1 1.
11 1 1 as a string. Understand? Got it, Piyush? Yeah. Okay. So you know that. So today we have seen a new type of error called index error. If you try to access an index which is not exist, you will get index error. Okay. So you know, list doesn't contain a third object, so you will get index error. So hope you have noticed I've used various types of inputs. So names is a variable which holds a string object, 0 is an integer object, and this is a string again. Okay. So there is a no restriction to use. You have to use this kind of object. It doesn't like that. Okay. In a list, you can use any type of object. Even you can use a function object. I'm going to say len. Okay. So I'm going to say len of data of 3 is there, right? So it will print len as a function, built-in function. Now instead of len, I can say this. This will be a tricky, but try to find what it is. I understand what it is. What will be the output? Just try to find it. This looks tricky.
108.
Answer will be 108. Okay. So the very first execution will be from right to left. Okay. So here, this will execute what? This means what? Data of 0. What is the data of 0?
That indicate the names
String,
which we
right?
declare as
Yeah, the complete string. And data of 3?
the built-in
Yeah.
function len.
Yeah. So these are the reference. Okay. So data of 3 referencing a built-in function called len. Okay. Then this will act like a function. Got it? See, I'm hovering. It says it's a built-in. So this will act like a function, but this actually referring a string. So this will act like a string. So you are actually passing this string into a function called len. Okay. So here data of 3 is not a function. It is actually referring a function called len. So you will get answer 108. So this is similar to len. Okay. So in a list you can write any type of object. That's why I kept a len. Got it? I said list is a collection of object. So you can keep any kind of objects. Even you can keep a len inside. A list inside. Got it? Now what will be the answer? Now anyone?
3.
It will be 3. So data of 3 means a list. Length of this list is 3. So the answer will be 3. Got it? I will leave this for your practice. Okay. Then we'll move on to next thing. So any doubts till now? Or am I clear, or you have any doubts?
How do you get back what you had typed earlier?
It is Control Z. Undo, right? Because this is
Control Z. Okay.
yeah, this is Google Collaborator. I'm using online compiler. I'm not using mine. Just say just Control Z, undo. Got it?
Okay. Thank
So
you.
thank you. So now today we are going to talk about a new function, one of the built-in function called range. Okay. So because we are actually seeing a list. So now we are going to see what is a range. Now we are going to talk about a range. Okay. Range. What is the range and X range? So range is one of the built-in function. Okay, this will actually gives a range of numbers. Okay, so say for example, range is a. Now you have to answer me how to use it and all. Built-in function. Okay, I said a range is a built-in function. Now you have to tell me how to use it. So I know how to use it, but you might not aware of it, right? So just tell me how to learn yourself. You know how to learn yourself, right? So what's the first step to do? Range, I said range is a built-in function, so it is available. We never declared, we never initiated, we never defined this kind of object before, but still it is there because it is a built-in function. Now you never know what it is and how to use it. Then what you have to do?
Help function.
Say help, pass a range into it. Got it? So here is the procedure. What they said, as like indexing, if you pass single, it will be considered as a stop. Okay, if we have two inputs, first will be considered as a stop, second will be considered as a stop. If we have a three inputs, first will be considered as a start, second will be a stop, and third will be step. You know what is step, right? Hope you know what is step. So what happens? The step will be counted from start from 0 till the length -1. So what range going to do? Return an object that produce a sequence of integer from start included to stop exclusive. Got it? So that stop will be excluded because it will give you till the last -1, and the step is by default step is 1. If you don't give, it will be considered as 1, and if you pass something, the counter will be 0 means 0. 5 is a step in 0 plus 5 5 5 plus 5 10 up to stop. Got it? What is range going to do? Understand what is range going to do?
Yeah.
Okay, so range accept three types of inputs. One is, if you pass, you can pass one input. Okay, if you don't pass anything, what will happen? So range accept one input, two or three, up to three, minimum one, maximum three. If I don't say anything, what will happen? What will happen if you don't pass anything?
Type error.
It will be type error because range is an object. The object does not support because the object required three. You're not actually that property was not satisfied, so it raise type error. Okay, at least one argument but got zero. Now I'm going to say z10. Okay, so if you pass one object mean, this will be considered as a stop. So it means a default start will be. So if it is considered as a stop means, then what is the default start and what is the default step?
0 and 1.
0.
Exactly.
0 no.
So it will be start from 0 and step counter will be 1. 0 plus 1 up to 9. You will get 0 to 9. Understand what is range? So you might feel difficult to type a range of numbers. There you can use this function. So if you want to generate a number between 1 to 100, there you can use a range. So if I want to generate a range of numbers 1 to 100, what I need to do? I need a number between 1 to 100.
Any number or
Range of 100.
Range
101.
Range of 100.
101.
101. Is it so correct?
No. Just a second.
So by default, it will be start from 0, right?
Yes.
Then
it will be 99.
99. You will get 100 from 0 to 100. But I said I want from 1 to 100.
1 to 100. Okay.
Then what do you need to do?
start is going to be from 1 and step is going to be 1. So that's the.
You don't need to specify step because by default it will be 1, right? Whenever we want to change something, then you can use it. So here I said the starting point will be 1. and stop will be 100. So you have to add one more, that is 101. By default, step will be 1. You don't need to override it because we are not doing anything. If you don't give anything, it will be again you will get the same result because we have not modified step. Got it? But my question, what I asked was, I need a number between 1 to 100, not 0 to 100. If you don't say start, what happened? You will get 0 to
101.
101. Sorry, 100, because
100.
that stop will be excluded, right? You will get something -1. Okay, but starting will be counted. 0 will be counted. If you don't say anything, 0 was counted. Now, if you want a number between 51 to 100,
A number or all numbers?
all numbers 51 to 100,
So at the start is going to be 50
51,
and
51 to
51
101.
and 1.
51. If I say 50, 50 also counted. Starting point is counted, right? Starting point was counted. Got it? Now, if we want all the numbers which is multiplied by 5 between 0 to 100, a number which is multiplied by 5.
It is again the same, but the step is going to be 5.
So we have to start from 0 and step will be 5. Okay? 0 to 100. Got it? So this is a range function. Any doubts? Am I clear? Any doubts?
And it works only with integers.
Pardon? Yes, exactly. That's why it's called range of numbers. Even in a help session they said, right, will be a number, progression of integers. Got it? So this is purely for integer. Even you can use a float as well because it's just going to count, right? You can use float. Sorry, I have customized, so it will be work for in my function. You have to customize.
If you put 0, 1.1.0 and 5,
I have customized. I will show you how to customize. Okay, because it doesn't support float, but we can customize it. We will see whenever we start. Whenever we talking about.
but that is the position, right? The first one is the position.
Yes, correct. No. First one is the starting point. Starting point.
Yeah. So it is 0.
Yes.
So,
But they actually created this only for integer. That is what they said in the help section. So here they clearly said this is only for integer. That's why we're getting an error. It says start argument expected got float. Integer is expected. Here also we getting float object cannot be interpreted as an integer. Okay, but still we can do with float. For that we supposed to override this function. We can override. We'll talk about this. What I can do if you want. I'll do this example.
Moin,
Yeah.
here def means you have is assigning a function. Am I right?
I'm actually overriding the function.
No. Just def is for
Yes,
assigning a
yes,
function, right?
yes, yes, yes. Got it. Shirom, have you seen that? So here actually I override the existing function with the float supports.
And if you want to return back, you just say, how are you going to go back into the integer?
Please, someone's supposed to know. Yeah, still it's supposed integer.
Oh, okay, so you're enhancing it.
Yes, yes. With a float support. Okay. And if you want to fall back to default, you have to delete that. Now the float won't work. Now this is a built-in. Here it won't work.
And is there a place where I can get all the customized definitions? Because let's say that I start it and someone would have changed these.
Which one? You're talking
If someone would have customized,
okay.
what
So you
are all
want
the
you want to check the code, or with I don't get exactly what you mean.
no, let's say that I have, let's say that you have gone and changed the range. I start using the range and I think that, okay, range works with the float. So is there a way in which I can see what are all the customized keywords?
It is up to you. If you customize, it will be results like DR will help you out. So DR will list out here. If you find a range means like range is a built-in function, right? I wrote a built-in function range. I have customized. Let me say, Vijay, can you please mute your mic? So here I customize, right? If I say DER, what happens? Range will be appeared as a new object. Range is a built-in, but if it is appeared means your interpreter has a new function. So dir empty will list out the available functions, available object, etc. If you modify it, you will easily find out. But you need to know whether it is it already has its reference as a built-in. If you say len works, but because we never created, we never override len, so it is not visible. So it will be resides in built-ins. Now, if I override means what will happen?
It will be in dir.
Yes, it will be visible. Okay. So then what happens if I say something now len won't work? If I say it raises an error because we override it. We have overridden it. So we supposed to delete and then it will be fall back to original. If I say der, it won't visible. Okay. The len will work as expected.
Thank you. This is what I was expecting.
So DR will help you out in all the cases. Okay, we'll list out all the available properties. Okay. Now we'll talk about range. So we have explained a range, right? So this is actually a built-in function. Sorry, customized function. I delete it. Now it is fall back to source one. Okay, we have discussed a range. So here it produces a range of numbers. Okay, so the return type was a list, right? The return type was list. This is only with Python 2, not with Python 3. Okay, so range will return return list of integers in Python 2, not in Python 3. So in Python 2 we have one more thing called xrange. Okay, xrange again a built-in function. This will give you a range of numbers. the same on 0 to 101. Okay, but here this will written as an object. Let's see what is the difference between a list and this. Okay, so this is called a reference object. Okay, means the difference is, you know, 0 to 101. What happens? This will actually generating a number between 0 to 100. Got it? So your list contains how many numbers is how many numbers list contains? It contains 101 number, right? Because we started from 0. Understand? Got it? So the total length is 101. Understand? So what happens? So whenever you're generating a number, in this case we are actually generated 101 number. So Python supposed to allocate memory for each and every numbers. What happens? The size exceeded. So we have to allocate memory for all these numbers. Okay. So now the memory size is n dot size of, it takes 848 bytes. Okay, it takes 848 bytes. But you know what, when we declaring an object, we never going to use it, right? When we going to use, whenever we utilizing, there we will use it. So during declaration we are not at all using that object. We will use when we utilizing it, right? Say for example, I'm iterating it, so, or I need an even number between this. Okay, so it contains a number of number, sorry, 0 to 100. I need just even number, so I'm going to say if I got an even number, right? So during object declaration, we are not going to utilize the complete object or complete object content. When we will use whenever we are going to utilize it. So we are not at all utilizing while we defining. We will utilize when we utilizing it. Okay, we will use it when we utilizing it. Okay, so during declaration, it is unwanted to consume this much of memory. 848 byte is unwanted. That's why we having a concept called xrange in Python 2. This will actually produce a reference, means you can able to utilize it runtime. Say for example, here in this case you will get even numbers without fail. But if I get a size, the size was just 40 bytes. Got the difference? So this concept is called a generator. We'll talk about briefly in upcoming classes what is generator and how it works actually. Okay, so here Python will allocate memory for one object. Okay, I will explain how it works. Okay, just assume there is a conference, or people came, like a 10 set of people came for an interview, and you are actually allocating 10 seats for 10 people, and all the people can sit in it. Okay, and you can conduct interview at once. That is example for a range. That is an example for range case. Okay, so you're actually allocating memory for all, memory for everyone. But in X range, it doesn't mean, it is just like that. So people actually sitting in a waiting room. Okay, so you have only one seat, so you have to call one by one by one. Okay, that is example for X range. So Python will allocate one at a time. That is 40 bytes. Okay, so if that person who came for an interview and he completed, we supposed to ask them to leave the class, or okay, the once the seat was vacated, what happened? You can call the next one. Same logic. So once you utilize this, you can call for next object. Okay, that is the logic behind this. So in xrange, Python will allocate memory for each object one by one by one. If you utilize once, and you can the previous one will be destroyed, and you can use the next one. But in range, it doesn't like that. There you can, Python will allocate a memory for all the items, all the objects. Have you got what is the difference between range and xrange? Or do you want
But
a more explanation?
Yeah, Mohiddin, how exactly it knows, what logic you are going to do so that, it will allocate. Here, if we, here, what happened, you have given a X range.
Yeah.
Then after that, you are doing some logic on that,
Yes.
right? So how exactly it knows, what logic you are going to take
This is not up to
once you
logic.
take a size.
So this is not up to logic. Okay, that return value. So X range is a built-in function. Again, this will going to generate a number. Okay, when it will happen when you utilizing it. Okay, the memory allocation. So both a range and X range supposed to allocate memory for a range of numbers, but how it is getting preferred the way of utilizing. A range will allocate at the starting stage itself, but in X range it will be happen middle of the program. There is a
Okay, got
difference.
it.
Got
Got
it?
it. Got
In a
it.
range,
Yeah.
the memory allocation will take place at starting stage itself, or in X range it will happen only at the middle. Okay, so that's why. Yeah, anyone
I
have
have
one?
one doubt.
Yeah,
Yeah. Once we use the value, it
yeah, pardon. Please.
can be useful, reusable, right? So
Which one?
maybe memory allocation
Yeah, memory allocation.
destroy, right?
Yeah,
One the value will be destroyed.
yes,
Then once
yes, correct. So memory allocation for reusability purpose. If you
we
want to,
use two number two, and
yeah, yeah, I got your question. So memory allocation is for reusability. If you
so
are
again I can use the two, right?
yes. So for that case, you have to use a range. In that case, you're supposed to be, there is a only possibility you have to use a range. Okay, got it.
Mm.
So here the memory was allocated already. You can utilize a number of times, but in range it is not like that. So it will be allocated when you utilizing it. Whenever you're utilizing, the memory will allocation will occur. Got it?
Yeah, once we use that value, again we can use that again, right? The same
In
value. Again
yes,
we can
yes,
like you take
yes.
index 0, 1, 2, 3.
Got it.
Uh, index 2 I use now, and
Yes.
next again I use index 4,
Yeah.
and now I again need to reuse the index 2, but I can get the value again, right?
Yes. So for
Yeah.
that you have to use a range. Okay,
Okay.
if you're not going to use a number of time, you can go with X range. So if your
Okay.
purpose is for one time, you can go with an X range. If you are going
Okay.
to utilize for a number of time, you have to use a range. Okay, so this is
Okay.
in Python 2, not in Python 3. Got it? So this
Okay.
logic, so we have two different function in Python 2, range and X range. But in Python 3, we have function called range with X range concept. We
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
have. Okay, in
Yep.
Python 3 we have a function named range with X range concept. Similarly, in Python 2 we have seen two types of input, raw input and input. In Python 3 we have only one, the name input with a raw input concept. Similarly, we have a name called range with X range concept in Python 3. Reason is we can generate a number from object, but we won't generate object from numbers. The difference is, see that in Python, this is Python 3. Okay, here if I say 0 or sorry 101, this will again produce a reference. As I said, okay, the size was consume a very less size, just a 48 bytes. Okay, now if you want all the number, use the list. Just pass it into list. You know list, right? List is a built-in function. This will actually extract all the content in a range. Now the memory was allocated. The memory was allocated. If I say size, it consumes the complete memories. Say so it consumes 992 bytes. Okay, as like in Python. So exchange that exchange function is unwanted in Python 3, because if you want you can use it like as in the input we have seen, right? What input in Python is going to, it is actually going to say eval of raw input. So if you want eval, you can use the person who actually want they will use. Okay, so it is unwanted to keep the dedicated function for that. Similarly, in Python 3, they have they eliminated that exchange, but they kept the concept. Got it? If you want, you can convert it into list. So user can convert it. Understand?
Yeah. Okay.
So in
One more doubt actually.
yeah, please.
Types and range and exchange,
In,
or only exchange?
pardon?
In Python 3, we have only range, or both we have like range and exchange.
What I said, what I told.
Actually, your voice was breaking.
Yeah,
About to
okay.
say.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
So in Python 3, we have a concept called range alone, not exchange. I said in Python 3, Python 2, we have two types of function. One is exchange and range. Range will return a list of numbers. Exchange will return reference. Exchange will return a reference object. Means this will say we have to generate, we supposed to generate a number between 0 to 101 whenever we utilizing it. That is what exchange says. But in Python 3, we have a exchange concept with a range name. We have a function name called range with this concept. Okay, we don't have exchange. So if I say exchange in Python 3, what happens? This will raise error. What will be the error? What will be the error?
Functional
Function error.
attribute.
Attribute error.
Yes.
How attribute error? Attribute error will occur when you say dot.
Type error.
Type error. How?
It's just a variable, right? As
Type.
we see.
Yeah, you said it's a variable. How you know it is variable? How Python know it is a variable?
Name
When,
error.
when Python will
Name.
know
Yeah,
this is
name
variable?
error. It's a name error.
Python will know this is a variable when you declare.
Name error.
Got it? So I never declared anything called exchange. So it will be name error. When you define something called exchange, now Python knows this is a name. Then if I say exchange of, now it will raise type error because you have declared a list, but you act like a function. Now here it act like a function. This is purely irrelevant to this object. So here it says type error. Got it? Any doubts? So this is the built-in function which is available for Python 2 and Python 3. Okay. Have you understand what is the range?
Another question. Let's say
Yeah.
that I would like to use the same object in looping. Let's say that in that case, I have to use the X range with the list.
In Python 2, we
No,
don't have
Python 3.
Python. Okay. In Python 3, we don't have X range. The only way is range. If you want to use, say, for I in range of,
Okay, range.
we can use in a loop. Okay. You know, this is a range in Python 3 is just a reference. You don't produce a list. But in Python 3, we can use. But in Python 3, we can use both. We can use both. But if you want to use something like that, exchange is better to use in Python 2. But in Python 3, we don't have exchange, but we have only a range. So in a loop, we can use a range alone. Okay. So don't confuse. We have two functions in Python 2, exchange and range. But in Python 3, we have only one function called range to generate a range of integers. To generate a range of integers, we have two functions. Any doubts? Python 2. Got it? So now we are going to talk about one more thing, technical term called type conversion. So here I said in Python 3, I have used range, right? I said this will produce a reference if you want that complete set of numbers, you have to pass it into list. Okay, so here I've used a built-in function called list to generate that number. So this is called a type conversion. This is called type conversion. Now we'll see what is type conversion. So type conversion is nothing but converting your object from one data type to another. The only rule applicable here is your source object should support a destination object property. That is the only rule. Okay, so say for example, now I'm going to say type conversion. What is type conversion? What is type conversion? So type conversion is converting one object type into another data type. The rule is, note, your source data type must obey destination type property. That is the only rule. Let's say, is it possible to convert integer into string?
No.
How?
Sorry, you can. That means that you can object change mutable to another mutable, but not
So-
mutable to immutable.
Here you just forgot about mutable emotive. Here we are
Okay.
going to talk about conversion, right? So conversion doesn't relate with mutable or immutable. So here, integer is immutable. Now we are actually we want to convert it into a string. I said, is it possible? Because I said the only rule is, if your data type obey a destination property, we can convert an integer into string, because we can convert anything into string. The only rule is we have to keep it inside quotes, right?
Yeah.
Is it possible? So you can keep a number inside a quotes, right? So this is possible. So to convert into string, we have to use a built-in function called str. Pass your input. Your integer becomes string. Got it? You can convert anything into string. So say for example, I'm having a list with the numbers. Okay, is it possible to convert into string? Yes, it is, because string is nothing but keeping inside a quotes. That's it. S of 0, what will I get? S of 0.
The complete
Open
list.
bracket.
The whole
The,
list.
the open bracket. The open bracket. Because this is a string. The open bracket. S of 1,
1,
2.
comma.
Because I said string is a collection of individual characters. This also character. This also character. This also character. I said this also counted. Even if it contains any space, that also counted. So if I get a length, what will be the length? It won't be 5, right? 5 plus
11,
5 plus 4 comma is there, so 9 plus open and close bracket, it is 11. In case of n, the answer will be, so this
1.
both this looks similar, but that when you're converting list into string, what happens? Square bracket is also considered as a single character. Now the answer will be 1, because it is in list. That is the difference between string and list. So you won't be able to use a list properties inside a string, but you can convert. Okay, have you got it? What is type conversion? Now
Yes.
I'm going to say string 10. Is it possible to convert this into integer? I think in last class I said I will explain this concept in later. I think Tulasi asked me. In input I will use, right? I have used something like that, right? Correct?
Yes.
I said we will talk about this in upcoming classes. This is okay. This is called type conversion. Now say, is it possible to convert s into integer? Just relate with my rule. your string contains 10. Is it
Should we
possible
say
to?
it depends?
Yes, exactly depends. You have to look your string. You have to take a look at your string. So just say your string contains just 10. Is it possible to convert 10 into 10? This will obey, right? I said if source data type obeys destination, then it is possible. 10 can become an integer, right?
Yes.
Then type conversion is possible. Now,
No.
Shivam, I get it. I got my point.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm going to ask another stupid question. See, you have something called a binary and hex and all those things, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So, if I try to convert, let's say, a string into number,
Okay.
let's say A, if I try to convert it into a float,
You
no,
mean this one?
yeah, if I just try to convert it, I know that A is not, what do you say, an integer,
Yeah.
but let's say binary is going to be a number, right? If I try
Yes.
to convert A into, let's say, a number, will it not generate some kind of a binary? No.
It won't. It won't. So first we'll finish about type conversion. So here 10a won't become integer because 10 can be 10. We can convert 10 into integer, but not a. So this will raise an error. Okay. What might be the error?
Type error.
Type.
It won't be a type
Type
error.
conversion error.
Type error will occur once you declare a data type. Okay. So here the declaration was not completed. Got it? So we are actually assigning something into S. It is not possible at all. I'm sorry. Here we have assigned S is equal to 10a. Now I'm going to say integer of S. Okay, and I want to assign it to n. This means I'm actually converting this value into another value. Okay, so when type error will occur, you have a designated data type. Here my data type was not fulfilled at all because I want to convert it into integer, but it is not converted yet. Okay, here that conversion was not completed yet. So my object was not fulfilled. So there you will get error called value error. So value error will occur before type error. So when if Python identify value was fine, then only it will be convert into object. Then only if you use something different, weird or there you'll face a type error. Okay. So if type error is avoided, there you'll face a value error because you won't be able to convert 10 into integer. But 10 we can convert 10 into integer. It is possible. Got it? So I said the single rule type conversion is possible only if source data type supported destination. Now I'm going to say we'll see what is Shivaram asked. Can you repeat once again, Shivaram? Just forgot that.
Let's say that if I try to convert a
Binary,
string
right?
to an integer, then will it give a binary?
Yeah. So in string, I said if it is first of all, it will be converted back to integer. Okay. Now, if we say it is possible for binary, hexadecimal, and all, you need to pass object. That object should be integer. This is what they want. So if I pass string, what will happen? If I say 10a, that object require integer. If you pass something else, okay, this will raise type error. String object cannot be interpreted as integer. You have to pass only numbers because binary is a built-in function which require number. Understand?
Yeah, the reason for me asking that question was if I try to convert.
Okay. So here, if you have a string with a 10a kind of, and you want to extract integer from it, So you have to use that attributes like is digit.
Sorry, most probably my concept was wrong. Sorry, you may have to correct me if that
Sure,
is wrong.
sure.
See, irrespective of whether it is alphabet or number or whatever, it is stored in binary,
Yes, correct. Yeah.
right? I think that is correct.
Yes.
So if I try to convert, let's say a string, let's say that I want to convert a into integer, then won't it interpret that, okay, the guy is trying to convert a string, so won't it give out a binary just saying that, okay, this is how it is stored in the machine, so you just get zeros and ones?
So
No.
yeah. So the question which you asked was an advanced topic. Okay.
Oh, okay,
So
sorry.
we have to, yeah, that is correct. So for that we have to use advanced function. This is a basic function. We are doing a basic conversion. So in that case, we have to use something else. I think it is there. I will explore and tell you that tomorrow. Okay. So this is what is something which we are using was a basic thing. Okay. So this will understand this is a string, but it is not possible to convert into integer because it contains both all alphanumeric. It contains both alphabet and numbers, so it won't be converted. Okay. The thing which you are asked was take what is that ID based. So you know, A was stored in somewhere else as a binary. Integer was as a binary. I did this before. I forgot that exact name. I will find and tell you tomorrow. Okay.
Sure, but
Yeah.
I was not asking about the advanced thing. It was a general. It was
Okay.
much
Okay.
more
Yeah. Okay.
basic one.
Like
Like, okay,
okay. In basic, it won't be because
it
in
won't.
basic, it will take that object which obey destination. Then it will the
That's
conversion
it.
possible.
Very simple. Okay.
Yes. Now,
Hey, Moidin,
yeah, please.
just in previous screen, you said binary of 10. Why exactly it's showing 0B there?
Yeah, this one.
Yeah, it should convert to binary, right?
So 1010 is an answer. Zero B
So,
is an indication.
indication.
Yeah, this is what they built, how they built.
Acha, acha. Okay, okay.
Yeah. So for 1010 is mean for 10. Okay.
Yeah, correct.
Now I'm going to declare yes. So I want to convert into list. Is it possible?
Yes,
How?
because it's a collection of characters.
And this is
Each
collection of
character,
object. Yeah, in list is a collection of object. So here, individual character in string will be considered as a individual object in list. That's it. Conversion is possible. So if I say length of yes, you will get 7. If I convert the that length also 7. Got it? Understand this?
No,
So
just
you can,
explain.
yeah.
Just explain.
So I'm actually converting string into list. It is possible because both are index-based positioning. So in string, each and every character was stored in specific position, that is index 0 to length -1. If you want to convert it into list, that in list, what is the property? We have to keep each and every object into some certain position, right? So is it possible to keep S in a position for 0? Right? It's possible, right? We can keep. We can similarly we can keep H into specific position, I into specific position, till M into a specific position. Okay. So here your input was while when we declaring this was an immutable data type. Now we are converted into mutable. So if you want to apply something like a list there, you want to convert or L of 0, you want to replace L with something or capital, it's reflected. Then you can convert it back to string. So in list you can proceed a modification. Sorry, in a list, but in string you won't be able to because string is immutable. Once it defined, it is defined. You can override it. But in list we can modify. So we'll discuss these things tomorrow. How to modify these steps. What is how mutable, why we call it as a mutable, okay, how to modify in runtime and all, we'll see tomorrow. So any doubts in type conversion? We have seen type conversion, range, X range, and what else? We have seen a list introduction, a range, X range, and type conversion today. Any doubts in that? So we'll
So,
discuss. Pardon?
so when it comes to type conversion, it depends on what is the constituent of that object, right?
Yes, correct, exactly.
So there is no hard and fast rule. Like, okay, it will be there that okay, you can always convert an integer to a string, a float to a string. So every data type can be converted into a string,
Yes,
and everything can be converted into a list as well because it's a
not
combination.
everything. Not everything. Say here, string is index based, right? We can keep s in a 0th position as like a string. But if I say a is my integer, is it
Yeah.
possible?
Why not? Won't it make it as 1 and 0?
It won't, because I said integer is a fixed position.
Oh, right. So it will be 0. Yeah. Until the okay, right. Yeah.
Because integer is fixed.
Fixed. Okay.
There is a no positioning in that, right?
There is no positioning there.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we can do something like that. Means here it will keep that complete integer into list. This is, you have to do yourself. This is custom one, not a type conversion. Type conversion means you are converting a into exact integer into list. It is not possible because, but what you have to do, you can convert it into string.
String and then put it.
Now list. Now it is possible. Got it?
Yes,
You
thank
won't
you.
you won't do directly, but you have to do step by step. Like you have to convert integer into string, then you can convert string into list. A step. Yeah, please, Piyush. Yes, Piyush.
Yeah, here, when you say, Shivram, right?
Yes.
It should take as a, the one particular object, right? Why exactly it's, in the list, why exactly it's,
Yeah. That's why there is the rule. I said your source data type must obey destination type, right? So in integer,
no.
10. Yeah.
I got that. No,
Okay.
if you take the previous example, right?
Okay.
Shivram, it should take as a one object. Why exactly it's bifurcating? I mean to say,
Yes. Got it. Means I said, the length of S is what? 7, right?
right, correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
So means each and every character was located in specific position.
Okay.
So if you want to convert in into list, you need to keep each and every character into a destination position. So here, if I say S of 0, you will get S. But in list, if I convert,
Oh, okay,
if
okay.
you say L of 0, it should return S. But as you said, like this, what happened? This will return a complete string. Got it?
Yes. Okay, okay. Yeah,
So this is
now
not
I
like
got
that.
it. Yeah.
But in string, it is not like that. You can convert anything into string. Means it's simply keeping inside a quotes. That's it. Then it will become a string. You can
Got it.
keep, even you have a built-in function len is there, right? If I keep it inside string, what happens? This will print something like that. Okay, now it won't work as it is because we have converted. String means keeping something inside quotes. That's it. Okay. So rest of the stuff we'll see tomorrow. Why list is mutable and how to modify, how to delete, how to add something at all tomorrow. Any doubts today? Wind up the session. So any doubts? So please practice these stuffs. Okay. So we'll see tomorrow. Any doubts? Shall we wind up? Hello.
Okay.
Thank you. Yes, we
Yeah.
can hear you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Yes.
much.
Thank you.